Jerry Cook, World Orchard Project.
How's everybody doing? If you're interested in studying the history of how we evolved agriculturally, Jim Mason, one of my good buddies, wrote this book in 1993. It's called An Unnatural Order. Jim actually spoke at the premiere of this movie at Yale University a couple of months ago. He lives on the Eastern Shore now. I helped move him there from Missouri because I was, before I fired myself, I was a real estate agent. Now I'm a full-time activist. I was once a small farmer in Dewey County, Virginia. I raised animals. We raised feed for the animals. I fed my family. I was a first-generation farmer. Unlike Howard Lyman, who was sued, one of my best buddies, who was sued along with Oprah Winfrey for $180 million. He was fourth generation, so he probably was responsible for more people dying than I was. So anyway, I saw a change. I was in the 70s. I watched my farming neighbors. Some of them had large farms, much larger than mine, and they were sustainable. They very seldom went to town to buy anything. Even in the 70s and early 80s, we were still sort of bartering with labor among each other's farms and all like that. And then that corporatization moved in. No longer could those farmers afford to farm. They had to go get jobs in town if they were still young. If they weren't, they had to sell off the land in order to retire. So me being the corporate that I was, I turned to vegan, but I also went and started a real estate operation and took care of the rural farmers, my buddies, and helped them subdivide their properties into smaller farmettes, I'd call them, and sold it all. So we don't even have the farm land available for small town farmers now. The corporatization had just totally pushed them out. There's an old story that said somebody went by an extension office and the extension agent was in there crying, and they said, "What's wrong?" He said, "My farmer died." Is one farmer. And that's about where we've come to. All of this led me up until where I want to try to do something about it. Does anybody in here knows how many people starve to death every 24 hours on this planet? Any guesses? 45,000 people. 40,000, 38 to 40,000 of them children. Every day on this planet. That's what's happening. You won't see it on the news. If they did, we'd probably rise up and do something about it. But the media is controlled by the same large corporations, and they control your food sources. That's why you got to turn the tension for somebody like that to bring in the truth. Thank you, Tim. Thank you much. Based on that fact, I just, it's weighed on me. I've been on the board of Earth Save International and Wigmore Institute. I've jumped in with both feet, but I only work somewhere 2 or 3 years. Throw out some ideas and they'll run me out and I go somewhere else. So I wanted to do something about these children. So we started a project a few years ago. I got 5 of my buddies together and we started World Orchard Project. I don't want to call it an organization because we've got enough of them now. And it's basically trying to educate people about what's going on with these food supply problems. The fact that we have got 40,000 children starving to death every day. What can we do about it? One thing we can do, all of us can go home and plant something. Not only plant something in your yard, if you do, plant it near the front of the yard so somebody else that's hungry can get some of it too. So we're promoting the planting of fruit-bearing trees and bushes all around the world and in common areas of the world. So maybe a few of those people, because you got to have money now to get even water, much less food. So if we have enough free access to food, especially for these children, maybe we can stop some of them from starving to death. Thank you. Thank all y'all for being here.